Hello, my name is Terry Woodfield. I am a private pilot who flies small single-engine airplanes. My first solo flight was on October 23, 1986, flying a Cessna 150 at Triple W Air Park south of Raleigh, North Carolina. I finished my pilot training at Raleigh-Durham International Airport and passed the check ride in a Piper Cherokee 140 on March 20, 1987. When I started taking passengers for flights in the Raleigh area, I realized that many people who had flown on commercial airlines knew very little about general aviation, small airplanes, and small airports. Many veteran flyers have never been to a small airport. My first flight occurred in 1974 when I was a teenager. I flew as a passenger on a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 on a trip from San Antonio International Airport to Houston Hobby International Airport in Texas. My only experience with small airports was meeting passengers at the Jefferson County Airport between Beaumont and Port Arthur, Texas. Jefferson County was renamed the Jack Brooks Regional Airport. Jack Brooks Regional Airport is a Class D airport. San Antonio International Airport is a Class C airport, and Houston Hobby is a Class B airport. Class B, C, and D airports are called controlled airports because they have an operating control tower, and you must get permission from air traffic controllers, or ATC, to take off or land. Class B airports are also called Class Bravo airports using the aviation phonetic alphabet. Class C is also called Class Charlie, and Class D is called Class Delta. As a passenger in a small airplane, the primary purpose for discussing airport classes is to prepare you for how classes of airspace can impact your flight. Class B airports have the highest density of air traffic, so your flight will be controlled by ATC to avoid conflicts with other aircraft or with adverse weather. You must have certain transponder and radio equipment to operate in Class B airspace. Examples of Class B airports include Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, New York John F. Kennedy International Airport, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, and Los Angeles International Airport. Class C airports have less traffic, so while equipment limits are the same as Class B, ATC is less likely to deny entry into Class C airspace because of congestion. Examples of Class C airports include Raleigh-Durham International Airport and John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, California. It is relatively common for ATC to deny clearance to a small airplane trying to fly into Class B airspace. It is relatively rare for any aircraft to be denied entry into Class C airspace. Fortunately, for most cases where permission to enter is denied, it is granted later when congestion diminishes, usually within 30 minutes or less. While flying in Class B or Class C airspace, ATC may delay your flight to keep you safe, vectoring you around conflicting traffic. While all traffic are treated equally with respect to priority in the absence of an emergency, small aircraft operate at slower speeds that make it more difficult for ATC to coordinate landings in a mix of faster aircraft. Departures are a little easier because all aircraft taxi on the ground at about the same speed. So why all this yammering about Class B or Class C? Well, you might expect your pilot to arrive by 11 a.m., but due to ATC routing, the actual arrival might be at 11:30 a.m. if you are at a Class B or Class C airport. What about Class D airports? In many cases, an airport has an operating control tower because there is scheduled airline service, although some uncontrolled airports have scheduled service as well. The control tower is there primarily to provide an extra level of safety for aircraft having more passengers. Block Island State Airport in Rhode Island is an uncontrolled airport with regular scheduled flights for New England Airlines, a small operation that ferries tourists by air from the mainland. Part of the decision to install a control tower has to do with average number of passengers per year. New England Airlines operates Britain-Norman Islanders that seat 10 passengers. Jack Brooks Regional Airport has a control tower because it has scheduled American Eagle service with Embraer ERJ regional jets having at least 40 seats. So you have decided that you want to go flying in a little airplane, and your pilot lets you pick which airport to use. Since I live in the Research Triangle area of North Carolina, I'll use that as an example. I provide a list of local airports and let the passengers choose. My good friends in Hillsborough, North Carolina choose Burlington Alamance Regional Airport in Burlington. The airport code is BUY for Burlington. Hillsborough is about halfway between Burlington and Raleigh, but the traffic is much lighter traveling to BUY compared to RDU. An added benefit is that we can depart much more quickly out of BUY because it is an uncontrolled airport. If we are going for a quick lunch to Pick and Pig in Carthage, North Carolina, and we have to return the aircraft to the base airport at a fixed time, the choice of BUY over RDU will give us more time for lunch. I usually recommend RDU for a first flight in a small airplane. I learned to fly at RDU and feel very comfortable flying into controlled airports. I like to pick up passengers at the nice general aviation terminal. I think it's fun to be part of a bustling airport operation, and I enjoy operating in a mix of big and little airplanes, taking my turn with the regional jets and the Boeing 737s and the Airbus 320s operated by the airlines. I think many of my passengers enjoy the experience as much as I do. When you have agreed on an airport, where exactly do you meet the pilot? All private and non-scheduled airline flights operate out of general aviation. Charter or business flights are part of general aviation. There may be several general aviation ramps at major airports. Small airports with no scheduled commercial flights are called general aviation airports. All of the uncontrolled airports in the Research Triangle area are general aviation airports. A general aviation airport may have a terminal building for passenger pickup and drop-off. However, if a small airplane is hangared at the airport, passengers usually meet at the hangar where the airplane is housed. Class B, C, and D airports may have multiple general aviation terminals. RDU has two main general aviation areas. One is on the northwest ramp, next to runway 5 left and 23 right. The other one is at the northeast ramp, next to runway 5 right and 23 left. The northeast ramp is where I meet passengers at RDU. It is the primary general aviation ramp at the airport. Raleigh-Durham has at least 3 general aviation terminal buildings. TAC Air operates out of the general aviation terminal. Signs to general aviation make it relatively easy to find the general aviation terminal. There is no security to enter the terminal building, but you will have to pass through security to get to the ramp. There is no limit on food or liquids or electronic equipment, but you may need to show a photo ID to get to the ramp where the aircraft are located. Parking rates change frequently, and since this photo was taken, the parking fee has gone up to $5 per day. There are 2 gated parking areas on either side of the general aviation terminal. Pay for parking at the kiosks located near the parking gates. Paid parking is rare at uncontrolled airports, but there is often some form of security, and the pilot will always have to meet you outside of the secure area before the flight. Private airports may have no security, such as this small airfield south of Raleigh. Gilliam McConnell Airfield is a private airport that became public in the last few years. Because it has a restaurant right next to the runway, security is fairly light. On this day, Gilliam McConnell looks a little congested, but doesn't quite compare to the congestion you might see at a Class C airport like John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, California.
There's a 3 Sierra Papa, roger. Follow the Cessna and to your left to the midfield run-up.
3 Sierra Papa will follow that Cessna to the midfield run-up.
Cessna 3 at Delta, do you have enough room to enter the midfield run-up?
Negative, Cessna 623 Delta.
3 Delta, roger, and then turn left on Hotel and hold short of Alpha. Hold short of Alpha, helicopter is arriving.
Turn left on Hotel and we'll hold short of Alpha, Cessna 623 Delta. Joey Gross, DeCastro 50389er, run-up complete.
539, roger, hold position. I have your in sequence.
They can go Alpha.
Delta, taxi Alpha, and then into the midfield run-up.
Taxi Alpha into midfield run-up, Cessna 623 Delta.
There's a 6 Sierra Papa, follow the Cessna straight ahead, Alpha to the midfield run-up.
3 Sierra Papa on Alpha to midfield run-up.
There's 2 Delta Whiskey behind Cessna runway 20 left, taxi via Charlie Kilo. Okay, no problem, thanks. Left turn on Charlie for 3 Papa Fox.
November 26 Charlie, you can continue taxi via Alpha 8. You're going to be in sequence behind Frontier, Towers 127.45.
127.45 behind the Frontier, 26 Charlie.
November 26 Charlie, Hotel Kern, have a good day.
Raleigh-Durham, Piper 299er Papa Alpha, ready to taxi at Juliet 3 with hotel.
November 299er Papa Alpha, Raleigh ground, runway 23 left, taxi via Juliet, hold short of Alpha.
North is final for now, now 479, delivery traffic.